magical star beings, this is Psychic Siren Tara and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So please be aware this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm now going to show you your crystals for each pile. So for pile number 1, we have blue lace agate, and we have boundaries. For pile number 2, we have amethyst. And we have consciousness. For pile number 3, we have rose quartz. And we have intention. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. But of course, if you were drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this blue lace agate heart and the boundaries card, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So your card is card number 21 that says Labradorite and South Node. So this card is from the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. We're going to be using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck, the Starseed Oracle deck, and the Crystal Magic Tarot. So please be reminded this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. So I already feel something from your reading, but okay. Let's just get your cards. So we have Root Chakra with Ground and Center, card number 2. You actually have 2 cards that came out. And we have She of the Lotus, card number 43. Beautiful. And at the back of the deck, we have Star Seer. Spirit Guides of pile number 3. How do people feel after seeing my pile 3s? So we have Earth pulsing with Pulse of the Mother, slow down time in nature. Some of you may be earth signs since we have earth here in the root chakra, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be. It's just the energy we see in your reading. At the back of the deck, we have the Void with Stop, Embrace Winter, and Great Cosmic Room. Now for your tarot. Since you have 2 oracle cards here, I'm just going to pull less tarot cards for you. So Spirit Guides, oh my gosh, too many cards. Spirit Guides on my pile number 3s. May I please look into how people feel after seeing them? So we have the Hanged Man with Irelight. We have the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles with Moss Agate. Does someone here have a cat? All of a sudden, I feel like there is like a cat hair in my mouth, if that makes sense. I don't know, like, I don't know if someone here has a cat and they enjoyed playing with your cat. Specific message for someone. Justice with Sapphire or a dog. And then maybe found like dog hair on their clothes, but then I don't see it like being something they're angry about. I see it being like, oh, cute. Pile number 1's cat or dog's hair is here. We have the 8 of Swords with Sunstone. We have the Death card with Jet. Okay, you do actually have extra cards. Let's just take it and make space. We have the Page of Pentacles with Fluorite, Page of Coins. Let's just try and make space here. And then we have the Empress with Chrysocolla, which is actually the first card that wanted to come out earlier with those bunch of cards. At the back of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles with Bloodstone. Okay, so my pile number 1's how people feel after seeing you. People feel like you're someone really empathetic with a lot of healing energy and a beautiful and peaceful heart that brings serenity to everyone around you, that brings peace, calm to everyone around you. And earlier I was picking up on pets. Even if you don't have pets, even pets could feel, and animals could feel very calm and safe in your presence. So I'm really getting here, like, people feel safe in your presence. People feel calm, grounded, centered, and serene in your presence. You have this very, like, serene presence that just brings peace and calmness to everyone surrounding you, even when they're in a really stressful situation. So I'm really picking up you would be good at calming down people even in stressful situations, because you just have that very calming presence to people, okay? And that's how they feel after seeing you. I'm seeing people feel very grounded after seeing you actually as well. People feel like you're very grounded. People feel like you're someone really stable within your sense of self and within who you are. Like nothing really shakes you up, even if chaotic things are happening around you. People view you as quite peaceful and quite grounded, where you see those challenges or those rocky moments as a test, where it's like, maybe you don't see it like this, but this is how people view you, where it's like, you know how we see this justice card, the sun and the moon, you know, the world is filled with dark and light, and sometimes the lessons we learn on earth are harsh, but it's like people see you as, even in those rocky moments when things feel really stressful and chaotic, you have this calm demeanor. Even in the chaos, you look at it maybe like, or this is how they view you, looking at it as like a learning experience with the Page of Pentacles, to really understand something, to really understand and learn from a lesson. Because sometimes the South Node is lessons and stuff we have learned in past lives. And I really feel here, what I'm getting is maybe you view it as a learning curve and something to grow from and something to transform from, even with the moth here in the root chakra card and the lotus flower. The lotus flower is all about rebirth. The moth is all about transformation. So people view you as a person that can take any situation, even if it's a situation that you feel stuck within. Take that, learn wisdom from it, grow, learn from it. Not be like, oh, woe is me, even though sometimes we want to be like that in those moments and just feel sorry for ourselves. Maybe you do, but this is just how people view you, because I do sometimes. It's a normal human thing. But it's like people view you to be someone that takes those hectic situations, stressful situations, and use it to transform yourself and rebirth yourself and learn something from it. And it doesn't just have to be stressful moments, but I also feel like you bring peace and stability to those around you, in your environment, in your home, in your family, in your workspace, at school, if you go to school, just everywhere around you. You know how to really make people feel at peace and at calm, and the sense of groundedness and the sense of safety. Like you make people feel safe in your presence, and even after they're with you, they still feel that way. So, and it's not something you specifically do or say, it's just your energy. But if you were to do or say something, it would even be even more, if that makes sense. That effect you have on people would be even more. I feel like you growing within your own life, from even situations that may be uncomfortable or maybe a little bit outside of your comfort zone, because the South Node is all about our past life energies, what we have learned and mastered in past lives. And the opposite of the South Node is the North Node. But in order to keep growing, like we see in this Empress card, we need to get outside of our comfort zone. And it's like, you're not staying stuck or stagnant within that past energy. And people see it as like you are going outside of your comfort zone, outside of your own boundaries in a good way, where you are almost like proving yourself. I wouldn't say proving yourself wrong, but proving to yourself that you are limitless, that you are powerful. I want to say the word relentless, but I don't know if that's the right word. It's like when it comes to your own growth, you're not afraid to get outside of your comfort zone. And I'm kind of getting this vibe of like evolution and how, during evolution, certain animals, when they were in different environments, they started to evolve to that environment. So it kind of gives me this vibe of like you knowing, okay, even though I'm used to and I'm comfortable with this, I can adjust to my environment and evolve as I go along. Does that make sense? So people see you being that way, but also taking those past lessons and integrating it and not throwing it in the trash, but using it in the next journey. Because with the death card, I feel like you've been through a lot of transformations as well in your own life. And people see the transformative experiences and the growth you've gone through. And when they're with you, they see that. They see that you're not the person you used to be a long time ago. You're not even the person you were a month ago. You're always growing and changing and evolving and ending cycles and transforming, It's like this month you've transformed into a yellow butterfly. Next month you've transformed into a purple butterfly. The next month you've transformed into a red butterfly. It's like you're constantly transforming, and people are constantly seeing a new version of you emerge. And it's like people feel sometimes, that quote is saying, like, I don't know if I'm even saying it right, but I'm just hearing it from spirit. Something like, to love someone is to experience 1,000 or many funerals of this person and who they once were. So it's like sometimes people feel they're sometimes only grasping who you have transformed into in that moment, and they're sometimes a little bit used to that past version of you because that's within their comfort zone. And then sometimes they feel a little bit off balance and off whack when they see this new version of you emerging, especially if they're the type of person that stays stuck or stagnant within one energy their whole life. It can be a little bit much for them. I don't want to say much, but it can be a little bit daunting for them. Just like Spirit is showing me, maybe someone that goes skydiving every weekend. It's something normal for them, but the average person might see it and might not do that every weekend and might get scared of that. So it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really great thing. I feel like what people see is they see your transformations, and even if it makes them a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, I feel like they start to see this new version of you emerge each time, and they start to see you as a person that is always blooming and growing. And then they start to actually feel very inspired by you. I feel them starting to look up to you and starting to feel like, oh, but I've stayed the same my whole life. I haven't taken opportunities to go outside of my comfort zone and heal and, transform and become an evolved version of myself. And then it's almost like they look at you and then they start thinking about maybe how they want to evolve and grow. And I see them, after seeing you, thinking about their own life and feeling inspired by you. Even if they feel a little bit stuck with the Eight of Swords, I feel sometimes you may trigger people. You may trigger that feeling of stuckness or stagnation within them that they've been feeling, because they see you constantly transforming and growing, and they see you getting certain opportunities with the Ace of Pentacles. But I feel I'll speak more in depthly about that in a minute. I feel even you even when you trigger that feeling of stuckness within them, it actually makes them see it in a different perspective, and it actually transforms them with the lotus here. It rebirths them. It moves the energy around. I'm picking up on Feng Shui and how moving the energy around releases stagnation. That trigger releases stagnation, if that makes sense, because then they get to slow down, and then they get to really think and analyze and learn from this trigger and from this feeling of feeling stuck. Like, why do I feel stuck when I'm seeing pile number 1 succeed, or when I'm seeing pile number 1 grow and evolve and become a better version of myself? Why do I feel stuck? And then I see them looking at their own life and seeing, oh, you know, I haven't been going outside of my comfort zone, and pile 1 has. I've been staying in the same energy for long, or I've been in the same routines every day, and it's beginning to feel a little bit boring. Maybe I need to change things up. I realized I'm bored of my career. Like I don't actually enjoy what I do, and I've been feeling like this, and I've been ignoring this feeling, and now pile number 1 is doing what they love, and now it triggered me. So even that example doesn't have to resonate, but it's just like an example of the energy of how they start to look within and how they start to feel after, where they start to have realizations, and they start to realize where they maybe need to put their focus and on their physical life, and how to build their physical life, like not like you, but looking up to you in a way, like looking to you as I'm seeing, you know, when someone wants to create fashion, for example, and they look to the magazines for inspiration, it's like they're almost looking at you as their inspiration and thinking, okay, how do I do this now? How do I create a routine to integrate all of this in my life? Because maybe I want to get fit and I want to be healthy, because I'm noticing pile 1 focuses a lot on their health. I haven't been focusing on my health. How should I do this? Like, how should I plan this and integrate this physically into my reality, into my schedule, into my routine? Okay, I see that pile number 1 has been healing themselves emotionally, and I notice I have a lot of pent-up trauma and anger and sadness and pain, but I always ignore it. How can I become more like pile number 1 in a way, like where I'm looking to them for inspiration and not being afraid of my own pain, and having the courage to look my pain in the eye and feel it, you know, and learn more about like healing, and learn more about emotions and how to process them, and psychology and things like that. So I feel like after people see you, they definitely feel inspired by you, even if they feel triggered. And I don't feel everyone feels triggered by you. That's just a small percentage of people, and they don't necessarily feel triggered by you. Spirit is correcting me. They don't necessarily feel triggered by you because you have a lot of healing energy. I feel your healing energy is sort of like, Spirit is showing me toothpaste, right? And in order to get the new toothpaste, we have our last toothpaste. So this is talking about like, in order to get this new thing we want in our life, we have to finish the old toothpaste. We have to clear out all of the old toothpaste in order to use the new toothpaste and use something new. Otherwise, we're wasting. But in order to use up all this toothpaste, we have to squeeze all the things out that have been in there, you know? And it's like, you are almost that thing squeezing out all their pain, squeezing out all the things that have already been inside there, but they didn't realize was there. Just like when toothpaste is there, we think there's nothing left, but when you actually squeeze it, you can use some of it. I don't know why I'm using this example, but Spirit is showing it like that. And your healing energy is like that. And in order for them to move to the next level and come out of this stagnation, it's like you don't trigger it within them. You basically squeeze it out of them and show them this is what's been inside you all this time. You didn't realize it. Does that make sense? So you have a lot of healing energy where that's sometimes bound to happen, and Spirit is reminding you that you are not responsible for the emotions you bring up in other people. And keep in mind, it's not you bringing it up in them, it was in them all along, but they didn't realize it was there. Okay? So it's like I see you actually helping people transform and grow. But people that are not triggered by you, I see them also being inspired by you after seeing you and also learning from you. And sometimes it may not even be people in your friendship group. It may even be strangers, people that see you do certain things where they are secretly admiring you, where they're secretly inspired by you, and they're learning from you and watching you on your own journey. And after seeing you, they go home and they start to think, how can I learn from pile number one? How can I grow like pile number one? Because I'm inspired by them. So I definitely feel people feel inspired by you after seeing you. There's also an energy here of the South Node very strongly, which I want to look at in depthly. So I feel the South Node energy, like I said, is our past life. It was who we were in a past life, what we're comfortable with, the energy we've already mastered. So that's our comfort zone, We've already mastered that. We may also have talents and gifts within the South Node that we're meant to use within this lifetime. That's not actually something I found on Google, but that's something I recently channeled. So the South Node is our gifts as well, but how we use that South Node to get to our North Node. Let's back up. How do I explain this, Spirit? We use our South Node gifts and lessons we've learned, our past gifts, past life and past gifts and lessons, to get to the new energy while going into the new energy. So, quick example. I'll use me as an example because I don't really know what to think of. I have an Aquarius South Node. So I'm very comfortable in my Aquarius energy, in this energy of being a humanitarian, in this energy of helping others, in this energy of being sort of like a rebel and being unique and being a little bit more unconventional and doing things in a different way than people would normally do, being innovative, being unique, that type of energy, and going a little bit against not what people usually do, but doing things a little bit differently. But in this lifetime, I have a Leo North Node. So maybe my gifts are within helping people. My gifts are within being unique and innovative and using that uniqueness to my advantage. And maybe lessons I learned in past lives were around being unique and different and learning to be okay with that in the world and learning to not try to necessarily fit in with others, but be okay with me being my unique and weird self. So I take those lessons and I take those gifts and I use it towards my North Node. So the North Node is usually the opposite of the South Node. So since I have an Aquarius South Node, I have a Leo North Node within this lifetime. And the North Node is going outside of our comfort zone. And the Leo energy is all about creativity. It's all about using that self-expression, putting yourself out there, learning to stand out and learning to put yourself out there and be seen, and using creativity, following your passions, following your heart. Leo energy is also that type of energy where you're confident in yourself. So all of that is outside of my comfort zone, but I'm learning to integrate those qualities within this lifetime. By doing this YouTube, that's already putting myself out there in a way. And, I'm still trying to get in touch with my creativity, but sometimes it's hard. But anyways, getting to the point here. The South Node is our past energies. The North Node is our future energies, what we are becoming. And I feel why this is showing up in your reading is because I feel you have already been doing that. Unless you have this knowledge, I don't know, but maybe some of you don't have this knowledge and you've been doing it unconsciously, where you've been taking your South Node gifts and your South Node lessons. I highly recommend you check up your birth chart and using those gifts and lessons to integrate the new version of yourself you are becoming and transforming into. And therefore, you are inspiring a lot of people. But therefore, you also have a lot of people in your past that are bitter and angry for this new version of you that you're turning into. So I see people from your past, and keep in mind we're doing how people feel after seeing you. And South Node makes me feel people from your past where you haven't seen them in a long time, but this is still after seeing you because they're still feeling this, okay? So I see people from your past. It's even opposite the death card. People you let go of, people you've outgrown, people that you no longer resonate with because you've outgrown them. You are moving to the next level. You're not still stuck in that same place they are at. And they're still stuck in that same place they're at. And it's like, I see them looking at this new version you're evolving into, and I see them feeling very jealous. I see them feeling very angry because they feel almost like you're, should I say this, Spirit? They feel almost like you're being fake for becoming this new version of yourself, but you're not being fake at all, because it's like you're evolving as a person. We're meant to change and grow as human beings. We're not meant to stay stuck within the same energy our whole lives. You know what I mean? And I see people from your past being very angry that now you're speaking up for yourself, you're having boundaries, because I actually feel angry in this energy. I feel angry at them because it's like, how can you say pile number one is fake? How can you say pile number one is wrong for having boundaries, wrong for speaking up for themselves, wrong for even moving on because they've outgrown you? Like, people move on, people grow, things change in life. And as much as their feelings may be valid, it makes me angry to see them saying things about you like this. Because it's like, I see you in the past, you were a very empathetic and nurturing person, and it's like they benefited off of you not having boundaries, off of you being very empathetic and nurturing, and they liked the love you gave them. They liked how you really cared for them, and that's a beautiful thing. But it's like, once you started having boundaries and once you started growing, once you started changing and transforming, I see them feeling this bitterness and still feeling that to this day. But I see that also transforming them, and I see that holding a mirror to them and their own actions, and even if they ignore it right now, how do I put this in words? So I see them blaming you because you've changed and you've grown, and they're angry that they're still stuck in the same place, but now they're blaming you for not being the same. Does that make sense? And I see them running around in circles, and each time they try to run, a mirror gets put to them, and then they're like, then they run again, then another mirror gets put together. And it's like, as much as they try to blame you, it's themselves they need to look into, and they're only putting themselves more out of balance and more out of whack by blaming you for this feeling, because they're the ones that are staying stuck and stagnant with the Eight of Swords. And maybe maybe it's not even about you transforming and changing. Maybe it's about the fact that they feel they're still stuck in the same place, that you left them in the past and you've grown and moved on. Maybe it's all about that, and maybe they're just using that as a cover up for how they feel. Does that make sense? Enough about that energy. I feel like some of you have south nodes in earth signs as well. Maybe you have gifts surrounding how to create money, how to create opportunities, focusing. Maybe some of you have south nodes in Scorpio, or north node in Scorpio with all this transformative energy. Maybe some of you have a south node in Libra or north node in Libra, or Taurus. And also maybe some water elements. Maybe some of you have south nodes in water elements, because there's a lot of healing energy coming through. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I went on along about that, but anyways, I'm seeing they're still feeling that way about you. how other people feel after seeing you. So I'm seeing other people feel very safe in your presence. Other people feel like after seeing you, they feel like they can just slow down. And I'm seeing someone like run in a garden, and they're like all lovey-dovey and having a crush on you. So I see you have that type of energy where you may unintentionally have that effect on people, where people start daydreaming about you and people start crushing on you. And yeah, because I feel like you have a very dreamy vibe to you. So then they start crushing on you. But then I also feel like because you have this very peaceful, safe, and calming presence, when people go home or people leave after seeing you, it's like they just feel so at peace, like as if they've just done a whole long meditation or gone on a long vacation and came back and they just feel at peace. A lot of the times, because you're so empathetic and so healing, you will bring out different emotions in people, like all duality. Even with the justice scales here, it's like a balance of both. What we perceive as negative and light, negative and light emotions, what we perceive as. Because there is no negative or light emotions, but the human mind sees it that way. But it's like, all of it is healing. All of it is eventually for their own growth. So I feel like you're a catalyst of growth and transformation within people. But I also feel like you have this effect on people where, because you're so empathetic and nurturing, sometimes people will come up to you and start to speak to you about their feelings, and when they go home, they feel like a weight is lifted off their shoulder. Or I'm seeing they don't even necessarily have to speak about their feelings. I see them just spending time with you and feeling like you almost like lifted something off their shoulders, like a weight off their shoulders, and they feel very at peace. And I see people that don't necessarily feel safe in their reality start to feel more safe in their reality, and people that maybe have a blockage in their root chakra, where maybe like because of trauma, maybe they're stuck in survival mode or fight or flight mode, and they are always like on edge or always thinking about the past or the future, which is something I've dealt with a lot. And it's like I see them being with you and then going home and feeling like, hey, why do I need to worry about the future? Like, why can't I just enjoy this moment right now? Like where I'm at right now. Why do I have to worry about the past? Why can't I just enjoy right now? And it's like, I feel like you almost pull people out of stuck energy, stagnation, out of their emotional pain. It's like you liberate them from that. But what I will say is, because you're so empathetic, sometimes you can be a little bit of an emotional sponge. So just make sure you are always cleansing your energy. I feel like people feel happy-go-lucky after seeing you, because I was also seeing like someone feel very playful and feel like their inner child is coming out after seeing you. I feel like people feel a lot more in touch with this grounded perspective of life, like slowing down and just enjoying the moment and not really thinking about the future or the past or what's happening next, but just enjoying right now. And I feel like that's a lot of what people experience after seeing you. That's the emphasis I'm seeing here of what people feel. Like most people feel safe, grounded, calm, serene. Like, I'm just good right now. No need to focus on past or future. Right now is good. And this energy of you somehow transforming people in the best possible way. I think that's the emphasis here. I think that's it. Like that calm, safe energy and that grounded energy. I think that's the energy that is emphasized here. Okay, so this is what I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this amethyst crystal and the card consciousness, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take or resonate to leave the rest. So the card you chose has a crystal on it and a chakra. So it says lapis lazuli, third eye chakra, and consciousness, card number 2. And this is from the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. We're going to be using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck, the Starseed Oracle deck, and for you, I actually feel called to using a different tarot deck than I used for pile 1. We're going to be using the Crystallis Tarot. I'm hearing that Fleetwood Mac song that's like, in the crystalline waters of you, something like that. I don't know what song it's called, I just know it's Fleetwood Mac. You may have that very mystical vibe. She gives me a very mystical vibe. I feel there's something here about your topic, and how people feel. There's something about a transformation people experience in their solar plexus chakra, I'm feeling, after being with you. So this can either happen in what we perceive as a negative way or a light way. So either I see someone being inspired by you, thinking you shine so bright, thinking you have so many talents, feeling inspired, going home and feeling like, whoa, I can do this too. Or, yeah, if pile number 2 can do this, I can do this too. Or, whoa, like, pile number 2 looked so gorgeous, so handsome or attractive today. Like, they looked so good. I want to try do a look like them because I'm inspired by them. Or that's like the positive effect of it. But then, or they could say, oh, pile number 2 got such good marks in their exam, like I'm inspired to push hard and believe in myself, because if pile 2 can, I can too, like that type of energy. Whereas you'll get other people that kind of see you and they're like, pile 2 looks so confident in myself, like I look trash, and it's like they're sitting in that insecurity, which is not a bad thing, because eventually, like I said to pile 1, it transforms them, it heals them. You're not triggering that feeling within them because that feeling was already within them, and it's bound to come out whether you trigger it or whether other people trigger it, because that feeling was always within them. That insecurity was always within them. So it's basically like you're healing or transforming something to do with their self-worth if they look at it in a negative light, or if they are quote unquote triggered by you. But I don't think it's triggered by you, to be specific. That feeling was always within them. You're maybe just making them feel conscious of it. So, spirit guides on my pile number 3s. Why am I saying pile 3? Pile number 2s. How do people feel after seeing them? Oh my gosh. Third eye chakra, crown chakra. Whoa. So this is card number 9, crown chakra, the unlimited self. You're very intuitive, pile 2. Very, very connected to your intuition. Like, whoa. Okay, at the back of the deck, we have internal explorer. When I said explorer, all of a sudden I'm seeing Dora the Explorer, but I'm seeing it like, you know that thing in Dora Explorer that was like devious or deceiving? I'm seeing it like, okay, you're like the TV show, right? And the person you're with, whoever you're with, is Dora the Explorer. And you are putting them on a journey into integrating the self, into understanding their self and reclaiming their power. Shining bright again, realizing that light is within them, but maybe they never saw it before. Realizing they can express themselves again, and express that beauty within them, that beauty is within them. They just need to find it within themselves. And it's like, what do I mean by this? I mean, you know how I said sometimes people will feel insecure, and I think that's a normal thing, but it's like, in order to reclaim their power, it's like you may quote unquote trigger that feeling in them so that they can release it, so that they can find a transformational point where they actually feel like, whoa, this is how I shine. Maybe pile number 2 shines in this way, but I shine in this way and I still shine beautifully. And it's like, maybe that thing in Dora Explorer, I don't know what it's called, but that thing, Sniper, is, I don't know, is like trying to deceive them, saying pile number 2 is better than you, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like Dora the Explorer in exploring their own internal self and finding themselves and understanding themselves deeper after being with you. And it's sort of like, I see you opening up people's hearts energetically and opening them up to their own feelings and opening them up to whatever is already within them and freeing them of it, making them aware of it, making them conscious of it and aware of how to release that within themselves. And even if you're not saying anything to them to get them to do this, I feel this is all energetic. This is all that effect you have on people energetically and how they feel after seeing you, where it's almost like they have this homework to explore the internal world and see, think of their internal world as a home and think, do I like this in my home? No, I want to throw this away. Like, I don't like this. Oh, I really like this in my home. Let's dust it off and put it, where everyone can see this, because this is such a beautiful thing to have in our home. Like, I see people understanding themselves better after being with you, and that may be because you've already mastered that lesson within yourself of understanding yourself deeply and gaining consciousness over the unconscious, what is having power over us without us realizing, and what is keeping us stuck without realizing, and freeing yourself from it, and now in turn you do that for others energetically, even if you don't say anything, even if you don't intend to, it happens energetically. It's like when people tap into a piece of you, I see you giving them a gift. How do I put this in words, Spirit? How can I explain this in a nice way? Because even I don't fully understand this. Think of yourself like a tree, right? Pile 2. And you're this beautiful tree that has beautiful flowers on it. But this beautiful tree also produces apples. And your gift is bringing these apples out, right? But maybe you are able to share that gift with others, but it's not like others are taking away from you if they eat one apple from you, because you're giving it to them as a gift, right? And it's not like they're stealing all the apples away from you. It's like they're taking a piece of the apple and taking it home and then integrating that within themselves. And then you continue to blossom more. You continue to grow more fruits. It's never going to run out, your gifts. Does that make sense? But you kind of share your gift with others in a way like you're giving them a piece of it for them to take home, but it's not like they're taking it away from you. It's like you're always producing more and more and more, if that makes sense. I don't know how that makes sense, but I think it makes sense to me. So Spirit has a pile 2. How do people feel after seeing them? We have the courageous peony with multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. And at the back of the deck, we have Star Keeper with Cosmic Ancestors see the light by staying grounded. I feel sometimes with this Cosmic Ancestor card at the back of the deck, sometimes people are drawn into your life as a key, and they meet you for a specific lesson or purpose, and sometimes those purposes are short-lived. Like, I don't know if you've just had people in your life where I'm seeing you sort of like produce something within them, like an egg within them, for them to grow and hatch something within themselves that they once needed but never had. And I'm seeing your ancestors and other people's ancestors work together, where it's like maybe those connections don't last very long. Like, even if you just meet someone for a day and you never see them again in your life, you don't know the impact you have on those people, where you plant a seed within them, or in this case, Spirit is showing me you produce an egg within them, grow something within them in terms of fertility that is meant to be on their journey towards the future. But in order for them to go into that future door, they need to have this egg within them, this egg with a lesson or knowledge or a gift or something on their journey to aid them in some way. So I see a lot of people feeling, even if a connection was short-lived and it was only for one day, feeling like you somehow changed their whole world around in one way or another. And I'm not sure what that would be for everyone, but it's like you basically plant a seed in anyone of consciousness of something they need moving forward, you know? So now let's take a look at your tarot cards, and we're using the Chrysalis Tarot with butterflies. And I said something about you transforming people in some way energetically. So I know we're doing a reading on how people feel, but I feel like people often feel like you change their life in some way after seeing you, like you empower them in some way, even if the experience is negative at first. When they look back at it after, it's like, oh, pile 2 triggered that within me, but if they never would have, I never would have found my own light. I never would have found that this was an insecurity of mine, or this was something of mine I had to deal with on my own, you know what I mean? And it's like that type of energy. And even in the people where it's like, let's say you add something to their life, that is how they feel. They feel after seeing you like you've added something to their life, something they take on their journey, and you influence their life in some way. So we have the ravens with the magician. And it's like you're like this tree, and here they're eating your fruits and taking it with them on their journey, because maybe they need that on their journey. They need that wisdom or consciousness. We have the 7 of spirals. I need to check the suits because I actually haven't used this deck much. I've only used it once. I'm pre-recording this, so I just need to check the... Okay, so this is the 7 of wands. Spirals is wands. We have the divine child with the Hierophant. I feel a throat chakra energy. People learning to speak their truth, express themselves more, express more of their creativity, express more of the sides of them that they have maybe pushed down, or believed it was unworthy to share with others. All the butterflies, it's like you transform something within people. Even the shell, you know, this child is within the shell. Maybe you also make people feel like after seeing you, like you somehow got them out of their shell a little bit. And I feel my third eye opening, got them outside of their shell a little bit in some way, where they are maybe going outside of their comfort zone, allowing themselves to be seen a little bit by others. We have the visionary with Knight of Scrolls. So I don't know if you sometimes like activate something within people, or it's like energetically I'm seeing it like their light was off. Their light was put out by someone else or by themselves because maybe they didn't believe they were worthy to have their light shining bright. And then it's like you reignite that light, that spark within them. And that's how people feel after seeing you. You may also heal something within their inner child, a lesson within that inner child version of them with the Hierophant that they weren't seeing before. We have the 2 of Scrolls, which is... Okay, it's the 2 of Swords, and that's the Knight of Swords there. Okay, then we have the 2 of Wands. And look at the fruit here, and the birds. And we have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, like, it's like you reignite that spark within them. And it's not just you triggering things within people. I'm also seeing it like, let's say there was a treasure chest inside this home that we perceive as their body, as their soul, right? And it's like they never realized this treasure chest was there because it was covered with all the boxes of shame, the boxes of guilt, the boxes of things they never wanted to touch or look at. But now that they've cleared away those boxes, they can actually see, whoa, there's been a treasure here all along and we never saw it, and we explored and now we found the treasure. Like, energetically, I see it like that. I'm seeing the story of the hummingbird. There's a story I saw on Google. I don't know if it's true, but I saw it on Google, and it said something like hummingbirds were once colorless, and it was like they went towards the sun or something like that, and all of a sudden the sun brought them all these colors where they were able to be colorful again. And it's sort of like I'm seeing people, their light has been dimmed, they've been dulled and colorless, and they were once a colorful person in childhood, but all their life people have told them, no, you can't be this way, don't act like this, don't act like this, you're not enough, this. And it's like eventually their light gets dimmed or gets switched off because now they're like plain and dull, and they've lost all their sense of color as who they are and energetically. But now it's like you bring the color back to them that they once lost. I hope that makes sense. I feel like you're sort of like a mirror to people, and whatever they see is whatever is within them, whether it's good or bad, but eventually it does transform them and bring them the colors back. Does that make sense? And then I'm seeing you sort of be like a muse to people, where they start to get back in touch with their creativity, with their visionary side, with the sides of themselves they thought, no, this is trash, this is rubbish, I'm throwing away this side of myself because it's not worthy. But now it's like I can see this, and I realized I threw away this ruby, this gem, because everyone told me this ruby or gem wasn't real. But now I actually look at it, and this ruby and gem was actually real, and I threw it away in the back of the corner of my home. The devil card wants to pop out, and it's like people in their life that maybe saw their potential and dimmed their light because they saw it like a mirror. Does that make sense? At the back of the deck, we have the Four of Scrolls. So I'm explaining it in a very energetic way, but Spirit explained it in a 3D way. Let me just organize these cards. Okay, so Spirit is showing it in a 3D way. This person is an artist, right? As an example, this person's an artist, whoever you're seeing, and they are in art school with you as an example. And let's say you have a project and it's like you have to create something, anything at all. Like your teacher lets you experiment and you know, express yourself in any way possible. And it's like you're in art class and you reveal your painting first. And this person was feeling good about their painting, but now all of a sudden that you've revealed yours, now this person's telling themselves, mine's not good enough, mine's not good enough, mine's not good enough. Why does Power 2's have to be better than mine? Like, now they want to cry internally. Now they want to do all of this and run home and cry to their mom. But then, you know, the teacher congratulates you and says, it's very beautiful, I like your painting. And eventually the teacher comes to them and compliments them and says, their painting is extravagant, it's beautiful, it's a work of art. It's like, whoa. And then the child's like, what? I thought mine wasn't good enough. What? And then you go over there and you compliment them too. And you're like, yeah, like pile, I don't know. It's not a pile number. Oh yeah, person, like, I really like your painting. It's really good. It's really beautiful. You have a very unique way of painting. I like the way you did this, and I like the colors you used. And then I actually feel their tears, like, now I want to cry. Like, I was busy being angry because yours was better than mine, but now you're complimenting mine, and I see, oh, we can both shine at the same time in our own unique ways. And then I see another scenario here where that's the negative emotion, but then I see another scenario here of the positive emotion, and then seeing your artwork or Spirit is showing me a cake now. Let's say we're in a friendly competition to make a wedding cake, and whoever makes the best wedding cake gets to have it and give it to the bride and them use it for that wedding. And I'm making like a heart-shaped wedding cake, and you're making another extravagant wedding cake that is so beautiful, that has the bride and groom on it, and it's like has what is it called, layers like this. And then I make mine and I'm very happy with mine. It's heart-shaped. It's me. I like that romantic energy and I'm very happy with it. And then yours gets revealed and I'm like, whoa, pile number 2's cake is so beautiful. Like, I'm inspired to create more. I don't know why I'm talking about art, but we have the visionary here. So maybe you get people in touch with their artistic side, or the side of them that they were insecure within, that they never thought was good enough, but is actually their gift. It's actually their peacock feathers, what makes them stand out, what makes them so colorful, but they want to throw it away, you know? And it's sort of like you shine a light on that, either in a negative or positive way, depending on how they take it. Does that make sense? So that's more of a 3D perspective of it, of you either inspiring people to ignite their light or making them conscious of an insecurity within themselves to work through that and transform that. But I feel like how people feel after seeing you is either inspired, like their flame has been ignited, like they've been taught something about themselves, about their own unique self and what makes them unique and what makes them stand out, either in a negative or positive light, just depending on the way they look at it from their perception. And it's like they feel like they've been given a gift of sweetness, of an apple they get to take home forever and remember as pal 2's. People definitely feel like you create something within them, like you almost show them something. Like, I'm looking at the scrolls here and I'm getting the vibe of I'm learning something here from my mystical pile 2's. They're teaching me something. I'm almost seeing you as this unicorn here in the 2 of scrolls, and it's like, it feels like you just taught me something. I feel like I've learned something from you too. I feel like this is how people feel after seeing you. Like, I've learned something from you. Like, my flame has been reignited. Like, I feel inspired and I feel I can maybe let go of certain insecurities, and I feel like I can create this, something I thought I could never create, and I can come out of my shell and actually go towards that spark of passion that I've always felt, but felt too scared to go towards, and feeling more courageous. Like, I feel the main emotion your people feel after seeing you is inspired and feeling like they've learned something. How do you want to end off this reading, Spirit? Spirit is showing me you as, I know this is a very, like, it wasn't what I expected. I wasn't expecting the messages to come through, like, so energetically. I thought I was going to get more feelings, but I can't always control the way Spirit shows it. Spirit is showing me you as the fairy godmother and everyone else as Cinderella. And they feel so hopeless. They feel like there's no hope, there's no color. They can't go out and enjoy the ball because they don't have a beautiful dress. And it's almost like you wave your magic wand and you create a dress of them, and you allow them to experience something they've always wanted to experience and have a good night and have a great day, or just feel sort of like their life is being transformed in some way. This is how you make people feel. Like, you're almost like their fairy godmother and you change something within their life magically. And I'm getting, I don't know why I all of a sudden started crossing my arms. So I'm getting like even people that dislike you or a little bit bitter even still see your magic. So this is what I see in your reading. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number threes. If you chose this rose quartz card and the intention card, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at how people feel after seeing you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. The card you chose has a crystal, a chakra on it, and a word on it. So it says Moss Agate, Heart Chakra, Intention, card number 4. And this is from the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle deck. So we're going to be using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck today, the Starseed Oracle deck, and the Crystal Magic Tarot for you. So spirit guides on my pile number threes. How do people feel after seeing them? Aw, home. They feel at home in their hearts. Aw. So this is card 31. That's very beautiful. And at the back of the deck, we have Shine Your Light, card 44. So how do people feel after seeing my pile threes? How do people feel after seeing pile threes? We have empathetic starseed with energetic sovereignty and absorbing what's not yours. I don't know why I feel like putting my hand over the heart chakra card and channeling. So, okay. So a theme I've noticed within all three piles is we will see a duality of emotion shown that we sort of bring out in others. And that is true for every pile today, the negative and the light. But it's not really negative emotions, it's just emotions as humans, we all feel. Okay, so what I feel here. Okay, I was seeing a dagger and like stabbed in the back. And I was seeing like certain people around you where they have been backstabbed, where they have been betrayed. You may even have dealt with that too. But I feel like you're someone really loyal, safe, and trustworthy. And I saw a diamond ring. So it's almost like it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but diamond ring is symbolism for marriage, for commitment. And it's like, I see some people being called into your life or brought into your life where they've experienced a lot of heartbreak, where they've experienced a lot of pain, a lot of betrayals, a lot of this feeling of I'm looking for that love, but no one's giving it to me. Like, I'm looking for that love, but everyone's just backstabbing me, disappointing me, hurting me. Like, where must I go for this love? Like, am I even worthy of love? Like, that type of feeling of these people hurting them so much that they're starting to even question their own worth and if what they're asking for is even too much. But then I feel something leads them back home to themselves to turn their gaze within. This card wants to split in the deck, and then this card is behind it with birth as a portal. So it's like a new reality gets birthed in where their ancestors and your ancestors bring you two together, or the divine, your angels, your spirit guides. And it's like I see them bringing them to you and then showing them, oh, you want love? This can be birthed into your reality. It's not too much of you to ask. You know, you put that intention out into the universe that you want love. So here is pile number 3. Here is a person that has a really huge heart and that can love you the way you've never been loved before. That can love you and show you this deep love. And then there's this feeling of overwhelm, like not in a bad way, but like I felt this before with my own person, because I always felt like a lot of the times I was going through my life and having a really big heart, and I was feeling like I wasn't having reciprocal connections in my life where people were filling into my heart the way I was filling into theirs. Like they weren't treating me the same way I was treating them. And it was sort of like, what's the point of relationships? That's how I felt before. And then when I met my person, he's so empathetic towards me. He holds me when I cry. Like I've never had anyone do that. And I've experienced what I'm seeing in your reading, where this is part of the reading. Spirit's taking me back to the memory. Like, when I experienced the heart chakra expansion and healing, it was sort of like the pain in my heart was always there, but my person gave me so much love in that moment and held me while I was crying in that moment, and something triggered my childhood trauma to come back to the surface. And because he was holding me, because he was nurturing me, and that was what my inner child wanted growing up all along, and now was getting that, it was like an overwhelming feeling of grief, of like, I've wanted this all my life and I'm only experiencing this now, but also an overwhelming feeling of bliss and like feeling loved for the first time in my life, that I actually felt my heart chakra break, but also be put back together, but also expand. And it was such an intense awakening where I felt it, and I released so much. And you may do this energetically to people without realizing. I see you bringing heart healing to people without realizing. But it is because you have the divine gift of love, my pile number 3s. And because you have the divine gift of love, you connect so empathetically to people. You connect to people on a heart-to-heart level. And I feel you have this gift of being able to take people's hearts metaphorically out of their heart space, heal it, mend it back together, put all the cracks together, fill it up with liquid gold as the Japanese do to their broken pottery, and make it something valuable, expand it, make it even bigger, tell that heart you're worthy of love, you are loved, I love you, give that heart love. Now that love is so full in that heart that it's overflowing, and this person feels, whoa, I'm receiving the love I've always wanted. And I see that's kind of like the effect you have on people. I'm seeing you have a lot of healing energy, but it comes from your gift of divine love. Like when you give people love without realizing it, you actually heal them when you give them love. And I'm seeing this comes from past lives. I'm seeing some of you come from Lyra, if you believe in star seeds. Some of you come from Antaka. I'm seeing Lemuria. I'm seeing Atlantis. I'm seeing Venus, actually, the planet Venus. I'm seeing Hadar. And Spirit is also letting me know there could have been other places you incarnated in that we don't know in history today. Like, Spirit is showing me a planet, like, for example, like X2, blah, 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 blah. Does that make sense? Because we're multi-dimensional beings. We've probably lived lives not even just on other planets, in other dimensions. I've literally once seen myself as a flower in another dimension. That could move, that could have consciousness, like a cartoon dimension. I know that sounds crazy, but literally that's our souls are multidimensional. And I feel like this heart chakra gift you have, this gift of divine love, is this ability to pour into people's hearts, heal their hearts, nurture their hearts in the way they've always wanted and craved and hungered and thirsted for that love, and fulfill something within their soul that their soul craved, that their soul needed. So how do people feel after seeing my pile 3s? That's the energetic side of it. I'll talk more about the 3D side of what they feel. We have the 5 of Cups, pink tourmaline. I think in all 3 piles, Spirit is more so showing me the energetic effect, like, of the feelings you bring out, rather than just saying, oh, you make them feel this. So Spirit is going a lot deeper than I expected, because I didn't expect messages like this. We have the 10 of Wands with aquamarine. Oh, this is really beautiful. So I'm seeing a vision with this mermaid of a person drowning, right? And drowning represents drowning in our emotions. You know, water represents emotions, and it's too tough to handle. 4 of Cups, pink halite. And it's like Let me just get out your cards that I feel want to come out. Wait, okay, so Ace of Wands, clear quartz. I can't concentrate on two things at once, sorry. I'll explain now. Ace of Swords with Tiger's Eye. We have the Two of Swords with Obsidian. Okay. And the Judgment card with Amazonite. And I feel like one more card needs Ace of Coins with Moss Agate. At the back, we have the World with Turquoise. So as I was saying, I was seeing you as this mermaid here, right? Or merman. And you're under this water and this person is drowning within their own emotions. Water represents emotions. And if they're drowning, they have too much emotions that, well, not too much emotions, but they're not able to fully swim through their emotions because it's just so deep for them that they can't fully experience it in a way that feels safe to them. And I see you as this mermaid being so comfortable with the waters, being so comfortable with the heart, being so comfortable and in tune with your heart and your emotions. I mean, look at that Five of Cups. The heart energies is coming up so strongly. I mean, we have Rose Quartz, which is all about love, the heart chakra, the Home card with a heart, empathetic starseed, a heart here, like so much hearts. So as I was saying, it's like you're so comfortable and in tune with in your own emotions. You're like this mermaid or mermaid. And what I mean by that is you're just so in tune and comfortable with your emotions that you can swim around in it. You understand it. And that is your gift. You're also so empathetic. And because you understand your own emotions so much, you can feel into other people's emotions and swim around their aura and feel into it and hold it for a second and feel it. But because of that, you're also so divinely connected to your own heart that you're able to give a bigger type of love than most can give. And that's not to say that, oh, like you have a bigger heart than everyone. That's not like what I'm trying to say, but it's like you have the gift of divine love. Other people may have other gifts, like gifts of creativity, gifts of this. But that's your gift. Your gift is having such a big heart that you're able to give such a big love to people that fulfills them. And it's like whenever people are drawn into your life, they're drawn into your life for a reason. I see this mostly being about soul family connections. And even if it's a karmic connection, I see you learning a lesson from them and them learning a lesson from you, where maybe they take your love for granted and then they realize they've lost the most valuable thing after because they took it for granted with the Four of Cups. But I'm seeing mostly soul family connections, like people you really cherish. But also just people that felt your love, even strangers that maybe needed that to aid them on their journey. And I'm seeing it like them drowning within that emotion, and you save them from that with your love. And it's not to say, oh, like you're saving them, like it's not like that, because I don't know, sometimes I'm scared my readings get misinterpreted to be like unhealthy, like, oh, we can't save everyone. Like I know that. But it's like, it's almost like they can't swim. So what must they do? Drown? Does that make sense? So I don't know how to describe that, but it's like you almost come in there with your expertise of how to swim in these mermaid realms, these deep seas, that you teach them how to swim through it too. And I see it's sort of like a lesson to them to open up their eyes to their own feelings and emotions and what they've been ignoring within themselves, and feel it to release it. But because you are so divinely connected to your heart, sometimes you may be so empathetic. I don't know why, but I always see the heart as feeling too, and the sacral chakra too. But it's like, because you're so connected to your heart, is because you're so connected to that empathic ability you have, and you're able to feel into other people's emotions. So I just say sometimes people can be draining on you because it's like they need a piece of your love, but sometimes you don't always have enough love to give around to everyone. You're not an endless supply unless you are only pouring into yourself and giving to others with boundaries. Here with Obsidian and the Two of Swords, only choosing where to put your intention and where to put your love, because it is true you can't save everyone, but it's like maybe you having those strong boundaries also protects you in some way, and choosing where to give and where not to, and like where your intention goes flows, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'd say also just know when to protect your energy. Like if you're feeling like, okay, and remember we're speaking in metaphors, so you saving someone could maybe be them talking about their feelings, their heartbreaks, their pain, and you guiding them through that pain emotionally. It's all in metaphor. So let's say maybe someone today says, oh, pile 3, like, I'm really sad, can I talk to you? Like, okay, comfort them a little bit, but then be like, listen, I want to be here for you, but I don't have the emotional capacity right now. Let's say it's your coworker. I need to work right now. I'm behind on work. So I really care for you. Sit next to me here. I will be company to you, but I also need to get my work done. Like that's an example of how a boundary protects you energetically. And then it's like, you were there for that person, but then, yeah. So that's what I want to say there. That's how you make people feel like you're helping them swim through their own emotions where they were once drowning. I also feel some people have maybe felt like they have big hearts and they are giving love to everyone, but they're not receiving it in return. And it's almost like you're putting a mirror back up to them and saying, look at me, I have the same heart as you. Look at me. Look, there are more of you in the world just like me, just like you, with the same big heart. And we are all sharing this love together, and you're safe here and you're loved here. This is how you make people feel safe and loved, and like you're giving them that type of love they have always wanted but never received. Where once they were always disappointed, and now you're overflowing their heart with love in a way they've never received. It's sort of like, this is not a nice example to use, but Spirit is showing it to me. Like a hobo, someone that's homeless, they're hungry and they're asking for food, and everyone's driving past, being selfish, being mean to this homeless person and not helping this homeless person. And one day someone just so generous with their love comes across this homeless man and gives this homeless man $1,000, and now he has enough food for the whole month. Well, I don't know how much food is $1,000, but or maybe even 2 months, or maybe even 3 months, just depending. And it's like, it's sort of like you have that effect on people where they're sort of like homeless, wanting that love, hungry for that love. I'm hearing that song Home by Snow Allegra, and she talks about this feeling of wanting home, feeling homeless, but now she's met this person and she has home. Like, does that make sense? So it's kind of like you give to people what they're starving for in love, and they've been starving for it, but you give it to them generously in a way where they've only expected the bare minimum, but even the bare minimum has been disappointed because they ask for the bare minimum in people, but they don't even get the bare minimum. And here you are overflowing onto them in a way they've never received, and it feels so generous. It feels like something great. It feels like their heart is overflowing, and it's like, whoa, who is pile number 3? Like, who is pile 3? Are they an angel? Are they an earth angel? That's kind of like how people feel after seeing you. And in their mind with the Ace of Swords, it's kind of like, oh, I have clarity now. I feel safe now. I feel at ease now in my mind. Like, I don't need to seek after this anymore. like with the snake here on the Four of Cups, it feels like I'm seeking after it like a temptation, like love is my temptation, other people, right? And I'm seeking after it, I'm thirsting for it, but I'm never getting it. And finally I got it, and now I feel comfortable, I feel at ease, I feel safe, I have clarity because I actually see there are people out there like me that have the same heart as me. So it's kind of like that. That's the effect you have on people, and that's how you make people feel after seeing them. Like they can finally see there is love out there for them that they're meant to experience. And I was seeing Misty from American Horror Story when she heals baby birds. So I don't know if you sometimes attract a lot of broken birds to heal, but it's like you have this healing gift. So sometimes people are brought on your path to experience this gift of yours because they're in need of it. Just like I'm seeing Spirit show an example of World War II, and they need nurses and doctors to heal them. It's sort of like people need your healing gift, and then they're brought into your life. And then I feel it's not just how do I put this in words? It's not just, oh, they're taking from you and taking your gift. I see actually it gets returned to you in another way. So energetically, it gets returned to you in another way, even if it's not from the same person. Let me explain. Sometimes it is from the same person energetically. Like, you know how we spoke about you being multidimensional beings. Let's say there are different dimensions, and let's say there is another you out there in the world that needs help from this person, and that other them is helping them in that reality or timeline. Or let's say it doesn't come back from them, but let's say it does, and let's say you're in your dreams, and now the soul is almost protecting you in your dreams for the next month because you did a favor for them and healed them in some way. Or let's say it doesn't come back from them. Let's say it comes back from the universe in an opportunity or something you needed. So I see it as it always gets repaid back to you in some way. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I'm seeing that with the Ace of Pentacles. And it's like, if you've sought hearts like yours, hearing the story may make you realize that there are hearts like yours in the world. If you have a heart like this and other people have sought a heart like yours, then that lets you know you will always also find hearts like yours in the world if you put that intention out into the world and trust that it will come to you. So this is how you make people feel. You make people feel loved in a way they've never felt before. Such a beautiful reading. Just warmed up my whole day. Also, I was seeing a vision before I end off of that Santa Claus song from it's not a Santa Claus, it's the Grinch, where she's like, where are you, Christmas, my only Christmas. So it's kind of like people are seeking someone like you before they even realize it. And you're sort of like their Christmas. So cute. I love this. So I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!